Hi, I hope everybody's safe and well. This is now the fourth video in the performance final review. And in this number 4, we're back to chord examples. So we had the two-part question one with the folia and separate chords. We had the sight reading piece, number 2. Of your choice. Number 3 was pick a scale. Number 4, now this is a really good option. If you don't think you can play the folia question number 1, this is a really good option for you chord players who are either beginners or maybe not comfortable switching chords that well yet. So you can picture your own chord example, and I'm just going to give you a couple of my thoughts here on which ones might be a good idea to do. As before in the Zoom and videos, I've mentioned page 45, the same page that the folia is on from chapter 6 in the Distler PDFs. There are a few chord progressions written there, but number 1 is really nice for a intermediate or beginning chord player because it's E minor to A minor to E minor. It's in 4/4 time. I want you to strum quarter notes here. I do give the option to try something else if you want to do a different strumming pattern, but I encourage you, if you're not that steady with your chords yet, to just play me a quarter note rhythm. And in this case, I'll do the example number 1 on page 45. 2 measures of E minor means 8 strums. 2 measures of, E minor means 8 strums. 2 measures of A minor means 8 strums in a row. And then I'm back to E minor for 8 strums. 1, 2, and you can go as slow as you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Make sure you're playing the correct notes in the chord and with your strumming hand. So 5th string in the bass there. 4 and 1, 2. Back to E minor. There is a suggestion that if you wanted to do finger picking, you could do the homage to Paco Bell on the review sheet, and that's also on this page. That's number 5. Again, a lot of chords, they change quickly, and if you did 8th notes there, playing thumb, index, middle ring. Not advisable for a beginning player. Maybe one of you more advanced players might want to try that one. That is homage to Paco Bell. So the easy example is number 1 here, and I think very playable for anybody in this class right now. Number 1 on page 45. I'll give you a couple more ideas to think about. Again, you can pick your own, but these are suggestions. On page 53, which would be chapter 9, there are a couple more pieces that are very doable. One is he's got the whole world in his hands, which just has an A chord and an E7 chord. So that, again, not too drastic of a physical change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3. E7 for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. A7 for 2. So I mentioned he's got the whole world in his hands just now. That's page 53. Down in the Valley is just D and A7. You can do some of these that have G and C, but that might be, again, a little bit more demanding. I'm trying to show you some that are in very close chord shapes. So if I play D and A7, I can just move my first and second fingers back and forth. This is Down in the Valley in 3/4 time, page 55 of the Distler PDFs, chapter 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1. have to do any of the repeats on these, just play them straight through. That was Down in the Valley on page 55, and maybe one other suggestion I would make here would be Skip to Maloo, which would be page 46 from chapter 7. And that is D and A7 again. 2 beats per measure. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. The verse 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Very playable chords. A couple more examples from the Hal Leonard book would be Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho. This is A minor and E7. So again, very similar shape going back and forth there. Be real careful that you count the correct number of measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You may have noticed in one of the other pieces I demonstrated a counting method where you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So you can keep track of what measure you're on for that chord. If you read it out of the book, you should be in good shape in being able to stay with the amount of time that you need to play the chord. I'll do blues bass too, one last example, which is page 22. Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho was page 23. Blues bass is a 12-bar blues, 12 measures long in the key of A, and it uses the primary chords in the key of A, which are A, D, we're going to use a D7 in this case, E, and we're going to use E7, and those are the only 3 chords. So again, not much finger movement to get those chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So you don't have to count out loud. This is definitely the easier option between question 1 and question 4 because you get to pick the chord progression and you can pick a shorter one than the folia without variations and just play through it one time. Again, Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho and blues bass on page 22 and 23 are good options, but there's plenty of other. The only rule is you have to have at least 2 chords in whatever you select. Okay, you have to demonstrate changing a chord. And remember, you can send these videos in separately as well. Thanks, have a great day, and we'll finish the series with question 5.